Hello, I'm Leslie Logan, and I'm here answering your questions every single Tuesday. So thank you for saying them. When you put them in the comments, it helps us create what the next one is going to be. So I appreciate that. Just so you know, if you're an onlinepilatesclasses.com member, you get to ask me questions anytime you have them in our members only group, where we have workouts and tons of fun actually in doing our Pilates practice. But I got this question: what is a Pilates mentorship? And I really love this question actually, because I think when you're being curious, it is great. It's always great. And also, assuming that people know what things are without knowing, it's like, that's the wrong thing to do. So a Pilates mentorship can look a few different ways. Typically, you are already a Pilates teacher when you are doing, like when you are looking into our mentorship. So you will have, like you've gone through some sort of training and then you've discovered that you want to learn more. Think of it like a graduate program, right? Or a master's program. So you've already done the first 4 years of bachelor and you're looking for another level. And that is not abnormal. A lot of times people become Pilates instructors and they pick the program that is closest to them, or the dates that were available for them, or the price that they could afford. And then as they get clients, they have questions about things and they want to dive deeper in them, or they want to niche in other areas. I know for myself, I did my first training, I loved it, and I was like, I don't know enough. And so I wanted to get closer to the source of Joseph Pilates. So I did a master's program, and then I found out I could get even closer to the source, and I actually studied with one of Joseph Pilates' clients. So I did a mentorship with him. Along that journey, I had many teachers reach out to me about creating a mentorship. So in a mentorship program, let me just tell you what that is to answer this question before I go into like why I created mine. It can look a lot of different ways, I'll be completely honest, because it really depends on who the teacher is and what their purpose of creating it was. But in the program I did, though, as a master's program, I actually studied for an entire year. I had to assess to get in, meaning I practiced for an entire year and basically auditioned, is like those same words as assessment, to get in. And then I studied with one person on their theory about Pilates for that year. And then even though I graduated, I still study with them. But they're my mentor. So a mentorship is like having a mentor and like a little cohort that goes through that. So along those lines, I ended up wanting to create a mentorship because I had a lot of people who wanted to teach the way I was teaching. They wanted to understand Pilates the way I understood it. And they didn't always have access to studying with the teachers that I studied with, either because of location, time zone, experience, things like that. So when I created my mentorship, I really wanted to make sure it was a true mentorship and that the person taking from me has their own unique, amazing qualities, that they could learn all the theories that I know, the things that I studied, the experience that I've had, all the exercises that I know from Joseph Pilates, taught to Jay Grimes, and then make their own voice in that. And so when I created Elevate, which is my mentorship program, I wanted to take a teacher. So this is someone who's already done a program, and help them understand every single exercise, but then also the concept of not talking so much, which is a little ironic since I'm talking a lot in this video, but not talking so much, to get their clients to have the connection they want to have. Also, teaching them the things that Joseph Pilates had imparted on Jay and his students, which is that the body actually really does teach itself. And so how do we train our eyes to doing that? And so over the course of 9 months in Elevate, all of my mentees are learning how to train their eyes on connecting the exercises to the body versus talking the exercises into the body. And what is so cool over those 9 months is not only does their teaching get more elevated, so does their own personal practice, which is very huge to me, because what I know to be true is a lot of teachers a lot of people become teachers because they love practicing Pilates, but then they become teachers and their practice of Pilates lessens. And the way I see it, in order to stay inspired as a teacher in Pilates, you must continue your practice. Your curiosity grows if you're curious in your own practice. And what all of this allows you to do, besides staying inspired, which is amazing, so you have a lifelong journey as a teacher, it actually allows you to have this creativity within the session, that your gut instinct as a teacher comes out. And what does that mean? It means less lesson planning. You know, there's so much that goes involved in being a teacher of this work, not just the session that you're teaching, not just that 55 minutes with that client or that class, but all the stuff before that and after that and all the admin that goes around. And there's so much that you have to do. And then I hear people spending hours and hours and hours of lesson planning only for the client to no show, late cancel, need to postpone, bring their friend. I had a client show up with a broken arm, and then they're like, that's out the window. And then because their lesson plan went out the window, there's this imposter syndrome around, what am I going to do? They have this thing. And so I'm on a mission, one, to empower more teachers to feel confident in their teaching, in their practice, and their connection to the method, not because they have memorized, but because they've embodied. And so when you're looking for a mentorship program, you should first make sure that the mentor does inspire you and what they say resonates with you, but also what you're yearning for as a teacher should be solved in that mentorship, so that you're not doing mentorship after mentorship after mentorship, as I see that a lot in people. So what I'm super excited about is bringing people into Elevate. So my mentorship is different than a teacher training program because you are already a teacher if you are in my mentorship. So I am not taking someone who wants to become a Pilates instructor and teaching them to be a Pilates instructor. This is a next level. All right. Typical mentorship programs are anywhere between 9 months and 3+ years. It just depends on that program's journey. Pricing can be anywhere. I've seen it from mine is $7,500 to the one that I paid for. The first one I paid for was $13,000 over 3 years, not including travel. The second one I did was $12,000, not including any sessions. So I think I spent about $30,000. Mine is virtual, so you don't actually have to do travel, and there's you don't have to take sessions with me, so the price is the price the way it is. A typical mentorship program, you're looking at 1 to 2 hours a week on average, of just either meeting with a partner or practicing what you've learned with yourself. In my program, we have 5 weekends that are live. They're 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for 4 hours. So perfect amount of time to spend on Zoom together. You can still have a life and still have a day. And then you would work with your partner 1-ish hours a week to practice what you learned. And then you may spend more time studying and restudying things or doing more of your own practice. But if you are doing Pilates the way you tell people to do Pilates 3 to 4 times a week, it's possible that you could spend 3 to 4 hours a week on your mentorship. But those 3 to 4 hours would be in your practice or a half hour to an hour teaching your partner. I want you to spend a few hours a week in your practice. That is so important. So important. In my mentorship, we also meet every other week-ish to answer your questions. So you're not waiting for the next weekend, the next meeting to get support on what you're going through. And so what is so cool is that as you're learning in the mentorship and Elevate, and then you're teaching your clients and you're working with your partner, as questions come up, they can get answered, and not in a typed format, but in a format that is alive where it can be a conversation. Because I really do believe that there is not a black and a white when it comes to, or right or wrong when it comes to Pilates, right? It is a lot of gray. It is the entire Pantone spread of gray. And so it's really about finding the confidence in what you're seeing and how is that helping your client reach their goals and their needs. So at any rate, I hope this helps answer what a mentorship is. It is definitely an investment of time and of money. And so you do want to make sure that you are picking one that is going to meet your curiosity. If you're wanting to know more about Elevate, which is my mentorship program, we've had 1 round sold out and completed already. Our round 2 sold out and starts in January. Our round 3 starts in May, and there are 3 spots left. There is an application process because I really do want to make sure that the 12 people that are put together are the right fit for each other. But the application process is very simple. It should take you a couple minutes of time to fill out, and then we can continue on the journey and see what is the right fit for you. If you have questions about this mentorship, you can put them in the comments below, or you can reach out to my team. You can go to leslielogan.co, lesleylogan.co/elevate. The link is also in the notes below to make it really easy for you. I hope you do. If you love these videos, if you are a teacher, if I hear so many of you say like your videos are really how I've studied Pilates, then the mentorship is going to be the next level for you. And I really hope to meet you in there. Have an amazing day.